Maybe. Just maybe. You never know. Now, Feedlestick, what do you mean, maybe? What exactly is the A, and what is the B? Well, as the title suggests, are aliens real? Nobody knows. Nobody can really say they do. Now, of course, the government did kind of confirm aliens were real. But after that, we just all collectively decided that, yeah, no. But the question still stands, and I'm gonna answer that question because I can. All right. So I'm gonna answer that. All right. I'm gonna answer it right here, right now. This mic doesn't work. I have a red shirt now, so buckle up, Buttercup, because we're gonna fucking find out the truth. Now, just a heads up, I'm not some crazy conspiracist. Even though my other videos might suggest not. But, those were kind of like the truth and stuff, so it doesn't really count, I don't believe in crazy things like the female orgasm or the flat earth. I only believe in true things like science and Bush doing 9/11, because those things just undeniably true, unlike those other things that I mentioned that I don't believe in, like Christianity and the female orgasm. So, with that in mind, let's get this video started for real. So, what is an alien, you may ask? What are these little green men? And why don't we want them crossing our border? Well, they are, at least to most people, the definition of an alien is an extraterrestrial being from outer space or not from this planet. And the reason why whether or not aliens exist being a maybe, because we can't just find alien life on a different planet. And we can't just go up there or even send a satellite to look at the planet's surface to find any life. No. But we do have evidence that no current life is on any of the many rocks in our solar system. We know that. But outside our solar system, we have no way of really checking, right? Those are all light years away, and can't exactly travel at light speed, right? That would require infinite energy, and infinite energy needs infinite mass, which is not possible. So we are likely never to go outside our solar system or even our galaxy. At least not in this lifetime. But by the time you get there, you are going to be 80 years old. Maybe even older. And no, we are not going to make some technological advancement that allows us to do this. No, we will never, ever figure out light speed, because that's not possible. Just not. And we don't even know if life can appear on other planets, because we don't know the conditions of where that planet is for life to even develop. We barely know how life started here on Earth. Well, I guess it's not that we don't know, but we don't know why it's so perfect here. So that's one of the things that make aliens a maybe. And another thing is that we kind of think that Mars did have life on it. Of course, previously. Now there's nothing there. Some scientists say that they ate their atmosphere up. That was a weird way to word it, but that's all I can explain. And if life did exist on another planet, it looked pretty fucking strange, and not like the gray aliens with big heads and very short bodies. No. They look much weirder and probably be silicone-based life forms than carbon-based. Most likely. Maybe even boron, You never know, right? We don't know. We can't can't go outside our galaxy and find out. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't. Just can't. And they're not likely to go and find us either. Because if we can't make stuff with millions of years of evolution, how are they gonna build stuff to move at light speed? They just can't. Right? I bet there are some aliens that are still in the cave ages. The cave ages. Is that what people call them? Cavemen? Cave ages? I don't know. It's a term of music now. Cave ages. And, you know, they probably still have sticks and stones that can break your bones. And when we have guns and nukes. So we don't even know how advanced aliens are. As much as the media likes to tell you that they are much advanced than us, evolution does not automatically make a hyper-intelligent species, alright? Natural selection favored our intelligence because of the environment that we are, so aliens would probably evolve into, you know, whatever planet they are, to what we see in most reptiles or sea creatures. That's just my guess, though. Right, but they're not likely to develop anything similar in intelligence or capability as, let's say, a primate like us. I'm not saying that they can't reach a level of intelligence like us, but, you know, there has to be specific conditions on their planets for that to happen, and generally how their species work, because we humans are very social creatures, and we really rely on each other to get information, you know, to support us, and that's how we evolved this smart, right? Because we're social creatures, you know. We stuck together, transferred information. We learned. We lived and learned. We were hanging off the edge of tomorrow. And can you feel life moving through your mind? You know, that's what we were doing. Do aliens do that? We don't know. Maybe they eat their children after they're born. You never know. Hedgehogs do it. What's to say they can't do it? So, we really just don't know. But, you know, they probably do exist. But they're just in that galaxy far, far away. Like, 2 blocks away. No, it's not right around the corner. But at the same time, there's no way to physically test that, so it's a maybe. It's a maybe. Yeah. You know, you really don't have to be a scientist to talk about this stuff. Maybe you do. You know, I was able to give you points that are pretty logical with just a base level knowledge of science and evolution. Of course, you know, I am quite good in science, but I'm not an expert. I'm not claiming to be one. You know, just with my base level of knowledge, I was able to give you a very logical conclusion of the existence of aliens. And a scientist would probably give you something similar to that, you know, with a lot more detailed information. I may not have all the answers, but at least I don't quote a 6,000-year book to give you answers. I'm looking at you. You know you are. I know you're watching it. Rock on. Aliens. They don't steal our jobs. So yeah. I guess that's the video. I could make another one about how a cartoon character is gay, but it got old after the first 2. Plus, I don't know who else is gay. Baruto. Baruto is gay. But yeah, I think that about does it for this video.